Hello and welcome. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran and this is Express News. Let's get started. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated and laid a foundation stone of 7 projects related to urban infrastructure in Bihar via video conference. 4 of these projects are related to water supply, 2 to sewage treatment and 1 to riverfront development. The total cost of these projects is 541 crore rupees. The implementation of these projects has been undertaken by an agency under the Urban Development and Housing Department of Bihar. Union Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad and Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar were present on the occasion. Prime Minister Modi lauded the efforts of the state government headed by Chief Minister Nitish Kumar over a host of issues including girls' education, representation of deprived sections of the society in local bodies and development. The Prime Minister said lakhs of families have been connected to the water network in urban areas of Bihar in the last 4 to 5 years under various central and state government schemes. The Prime Minister said today it is necessary that cities have modern facilities with possibilities, prosperity, respect, security and a strong society. The Prime Minister said under the Namami Gange mission, more than 180 ghats are being constructed in the country, including Bihar. Out of this, 130 ghats have been completed already. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh made a statement on India-China border issue in the Lok Sabha. The Minister, Rajnath Singh, said, "We want a peaceful resolution of the LAC issue. China doesn't recognize the traditional and customary alignment of the boundary. We consider this alignment is based on well-established geographical principles." Parliament on Tuesday passed a bill which seeks to improve India's aviation safety ratings and provide statutory status to regulatory institutions including the Director General of Civil Aviation. The Lok Sabha also passed the Salary, Allowances and Pension of Members of Parliament Amendment Bill 2020. In the Rajya Sabha, Union Health Minister Harshvardhan informed the House about the COVID-19 situation in the country. The fatality rate stands at 1.67% and the recovery rate at 77.65%. The Minister informed the House that India has been able to limit the COVID-19 cases to 3,320 cases per million and the deaths due to COVID-19 to 55 per million, which is among the lowest in the world. During the special mention, Trinamool MP Shantanu Sen said the term social distancing increases stigma and hence should be replaced with the term physical distancing. The chairman suggested safe distancing as an alternate term. There are 14 states and union territories in India where the total number of active cases is less than 5,000. There are 18 states and union territories where the total active cases are between 5,000 to 50,000 according to the Union Health Ministry. The country's average positivity rate is 8.4%. Active COVID cases are only 1/5 of the total cases in the country. ICMR Chief Professor Balram Bhargav said plasma therapy has been used for more than 100 years now in some form or the other for various virus infections. It's being used in COVID-19 too. Whether it helps or not is being studied. Professor Bhargav said 3 vaccines are at the clinical trial stage in India. Cadila and Bharat Biotech have completed phase 1 trials. Serum Institute has completed phase 2 B3 trials and will start phase 3 trial with 1,500 patients at 14 locations after clearances. India continues to report a high number of recoveries exceeding 70,000 every day. Nearly 80,000 recoveries were recorded in the last 24 hours, taking the total of recovered patients to about 38,60,000. With this, the recovery rate in India has risen to 78.28%. India's three-pronged strategy of test, trace and treat is delivering results. The number of active COVID-19 cases in India stands at 9,90,061, which is 20.08% of the total cases reported so far. In a veiled attack on India's neighbours, India's permanent representative to the United Nations, T.S. Tirumurthy, said some countries are busy taking undue advantage of COVID-19 to spread divisive disinformation or to enhance their support of terrorism or to adopt aggressive policies. Explaining India's response to the pandemic globally, the Indian ambassador said India's answer has been to immediately come to the support of countries vulnerable to the pandemic, rush urgently needed medical supplies, strengthen national health capacities and mitigate the diverse socio-economic impact of this crisis. India celebrates Engineers Day today to mark the birth anniversary of the renowned Indian engineer Bharat Ratna Moksha Gundam Visvesvaraya. Civil engineer and statesman Visvesvaraya is popularly known as Sir MV. The Bharat Ratna awardee was born on 15 September 1860 in Karnataka. He studied BA from the University of Madras and pursued civil engineering at the College of Science in Pune. He was the chief engineer of Krishnarajasagar Dam in the northwestern suburb of Mysuru. On the occasion of Engineers Day, Prime Minister Narendra Modi appreciated the unprecedented contribution of engineers to nation building. He said Indian engineers have also been contributing in the development of the world. We are proud that our engineers are vigorously pursuing the development of the country. Union Home Minister Amit Shah paid tribute to the legendary engineer M. Visvesvaraya, in whose memory we celebrate the Engineers Day. In a tweet, the minister said, and I quote him here, "Tributes to prolific engineer and statesman Bharat Ratna Sir M. Visvesvaraya on his Jayanti. On Engineers Day, I salute our talented and skilled engineers who have contributed significantly in the development of the nation. India is proud of their pioneering works all across the world." Unquote. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar greeted the engineers as well. He tweeted, I quote, "Engineers from the backbone of any society. On Engineers Day, I pay rich tribute to the visionary and pioneering engineer Sri M. Visvesvaraya." Unquote. Domestic equity benchmark Sensex surged 288 points on Tuesday, tracking strong buying sentiment in banking counters amid positive cues from global markets. The 30-share BSE Sensex overcame bouts of volatility to end 287.72 points or 0.74% higher at 39,044.35. The broader NSE Nifty rose 81.75 points or 0.71% to finish at 11,521.8. Gold prices rose by 422 rupees to 53,019 rupees per 10 gram in Delhi on Tuesday amid rupee depreciation and positive global trend, according to HDFC Securities. Silver prices rose 392 rupees to 69,357 per kilogram in futures trade on Tuesday as participants widen their bets on firm spot demand. Crude oil futures fell 0.36% to 2,738 rupees per barrel on Tuesday as participants reduced their positions on low demand. In a significant move, the government has banned the export of all varieties of onion with immediate effect. This is a move aimed at increasing availability and curbing prices of the commodity in the domestic market. In a significant victory, India got elected as a member of the UN Commission on the Status of Women, the principal global body focused on gender equality and women's empowerment, beating China in a hotly contested election. The Commission on the Status of Women is a functional commission of the UN Economic and Social Council, or ECOSOC. It's a principal global body focused on gender equality and women's empowerment. Over 2.9 crore coronavirus cases have been reported worldwide. The disease has claimed over 9.3 lakh deaths so far. Over 2.1 crore people have recovered from the virus so far. The United States continues to be the top of the list among the countries worst hit by the pandemic so far, with the highest number of infections. The US has over 67 lakh cases of coronavirus with a death toll of over 1.99 lakh. In terms of deaths, Brazil stands second on the chart with 1.3 lakh. There are 43.4 lakh cases of COVID-19 in Brazil. Ruili city in southwestern China's Yunnan province will conduct massive testing for all its residents after 2 confirmed COVID-19 cases were reported to have entered from Myanmar. Yunnan province reported 2 imported COVID-19 cases on Sunday, according to the Provincial Health Commission. Both patients are Myanmar nationals who entered China through the border city of Ruili. One of them was previously diagnosed as an asymptomatic case. Australia today recorded its first day without a COVID-19 death in 2 months as states began to lift restrictions amid growing confidence that a second wave of infections has been contained. Australia's second most populous state of Victoria, which is home to about 75% of the country's COVID-19 infections, accounted for the bulk of the new numbers. Still, with infections falling, the state's premier, Daniel Andrews, said restrictions in those areas will be eased late on 16 September. UN Chief Antonio Guterres will use his annual address to world leaders next week to push for a global truce until the end of 2020. Countries can fight the coronavirus pandemic, but he said opportunities will be lost because presidents and prime ministers are not physically present in New York. Chinese President Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin have been expected to make rare appearances at the UN headquarters to help mark the 75th anniversary of the world body. The two are among some 170 heads of state or government due to make video statements during the week-long meeting starting on 2nd September. US President Donald Trump is the only leader considering delivering his address in person on the first day, when Guterres will also deliver his address in person. The US Customs and Border Protection issued orders freezing imports from companies that produce cotton, clothing and computer parts in the Xinjiang region of northwestern China. 4 companies and a manufacturing facility in northwestern China have been blocked from shipping their products to the US. And US President Donald Trump refuses to acknowledge the effects the climate crisis is having on California's forest fires. During a briefing on the crisis, the US President asserted that climate change is not playing a role in the catastrophic wildfires overtaking forests across the West. Trump and his government have sought to pin the blame for the large wildfires on state officials, saying fuel-choked forests and scrub need to be thinned and flammable dead leaves cleared from forest floors. A big chunk of ancient ice sheet sitting atop Greenland has broken away from the Arctic's largest remaining ice shelf called 79N. The section of the Spalte Glacier at the northwestern corner of the Arctic island had been cracking for several years now before finally breaking free on 27th August. Russia has agreed to a $1.5 billion loan with Minsk. President Vladimir Putin said at talks on Monday with his Belarus counterpart Alexander Lukashenko. Putin also said that Belarusian people should resolve the crisis without foreign interference. The UK government has won a vote for legislation it acknowledges could breach parts of a divorce agreement with the European Union. The government won 340 to 263 votes. Peru's President Martin Vizcarra addressed the nation on Monday and asked for forgiveness. Vizcarra said the crisis was triggered by a confidant betrayal and a fragmented Congress that was seeking to destabilize the government. Sri Lanka has started repair work on the ruptured fuel oil tank in the engine room of a stricken fully loaded oil supertanker after plugging the leak. 7 tugboats were engaged to keep a vigil on the vessel and provide support to the salvagers carrying out the repair work. Google, in its unique way, appreciated and thanked the tremendous mission undertaken by the frontline workers battling the COVID-19 pandemic. Today's Google Doodle is a GIF with hearts and images of all the services supporting the healthcare system amid a raging pandemic. After the rice crop is harvested on a farm in Nakhon Pathom province, a flock of around 10,000 ducks is released from a pen and instinctively stream towards the flooded fields to devour pests such as snails hiding in the rice stubble. Drone footage shows the birds zigzagging across the fields as they head towards the nutrient-rich rice paddies without any guidance. Hailed for its provocative art pieces, South African poet and artist Pitika Ntuli's latest 45-bone sculptures exhibition has been honored for critically challenging human consciousness while emphasizing the power of healing, especially during the coronavirus outbreak. Ntuli says his sculptures are meant to encourage society to resolve the issues of greed and corruption. A humpback whale has become stranded in a crocodile-infested river in Australia after apparently becoming confused during migration. In a very unusual event, 3 of the animals entered East Alligator River in Kakadu National Park last week. Summer temperatures made a final comeback in southern England as most of the UK is expected to experience a spell of warm weather this week. As bathers in Brighton hit the beach, temperatures in London reached 28 degrees Celsius on Monday. Paris experienced hot weather on Monday with temperatures of 32 degrees Celsius expected to climb up to 34 degrees in some places. It's the hottest day yet this September, prompting locals and tourists to shed their sweaters and put back on their shorts and light t-shirts. Scientists on Monday said they've detected phosphine gas in the harshly acidic clouds of Venus. The discovery raises the possibility that life gained a foothold on Earth's inner neighbor. The researchers did not discover actual life forms, but noted that on Earth, phosphine is produced by bacteria thriving in oxygen-starved environments. The turbine hall at Britain's State Modern will be filled with the sound of 40 individual choral voices singing Sperm Inalium tomorrow evening. Written in 1570 by Thomas Tallis, the piece will be sung by the ORA singers live from the exhibition space to celebrate the 450th anniversary of the British composer's work and the Tate's 20th birthday this year. An Italian-themed restaurant in Seoul is now promising the safe delivery of food to tables, keeping in line with coronavirus-proof social distancing measures, not done by humans but by robots. The robot can deliver food to up to 4 tables at once. The Thomas and Uber Cup in Denmark have been postponed to next year by the Badminton World Federation following a wave of withdrawals by top teams due to the raging COVID-19 pandemic. Australia, Taiwan, Thailand, South Korea and Indonesia were the teams that had chosen to withdraw from the Thomas and Uber Cup. Former world number 1 Andy Murray has been given a wildcard entry for the French Open. Murray, a finalist at Roland Garros in 2016, was also handed a wildcard entry into the US Open, where he reached the second round in his first Grand Slam after hip surgery last year. Murray is the only non-Frenchman of 8 players to be given a free pass into the main draw of the Clay Grand Slam. He has not appeared in French Open since he lost to Stan Wawrinka in the semis 3 years ago. Auger Aliassime lost 6-4, 7-5 to Serbia's Filip Krajinovic in Italian Open in Rome. 11th seed Kachanov was beaten 6-3, 6-3, 3-6, 6-1 by Norwegian Casper Ruud in the Italian Open. Frenchman Benoit Paire, who tested positive for COVID-19 and was withdrawn from the US Open before his first round match, was knocked out 2-6, 1-6 by Italian Yannick Sinner in the Italian Open. Grigor Dimitrov beat Gianluca Maga 7-5, 6-1 to move into the second round of the Italian Open. Marin Cilic was pushed the distance in a 6-7, 6-2, 6-4 victory over Alexander Bublik to book his spot in the next round of the Italian Open. Jorginho, Reece James and Kurt Zouma hit the net to hand Frank Lampard's Chelsea a 3-1 Premier League victory at Brighton. Wolverhampton Wanderers boss Nuno Espirito Santo celebrated a new contract with a 2-0 win at Sheffield United in the Premier League. Lionel Messi has retained his place at the top of highest paid footballers after earning $126 million over the past year, with Cristiano Ronaldo closely behind him. Kylian Mbappe is the youngest player in the top 10. He sits fourth with $42 million. Former South African cricketer Jonty Rhodes showed in Kings 11 Punjab's recent post on Twitter that he had lost none of his exceptional fielding skills. Rhodes is the team's fielding coach. BCCI President Sourav Ganguly visited Sharjah Cricket Stadium to review the preparations before the start of the IPL 2020. The IPL 2020 will be broadcast and streamed live in almost 120 countries worldwide. The IPL live feed will reach the entire cricket world. The Sydney Olympic cauldron was relit on Tuesday to mark the 20-year anniversary of the Sydney 2000 Olympics. Australian sprinter Cathy Freeman delivered a message through a pre-recorded video. FIFA and the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime signed a memorandum of understanding aimed at fighting crime and corruption in sports. Rafael Nadal has offered some sympathy for world number 1 Novak Djokovic after his great rival's shock default from the US Open for hitting a lineswoman in the throat with a stray ball. World number 1 Novak Djokovic says he cannot guarantee he will not make a similar mistake that led to his disqualification at the US Open for striking a line judge with a ball, but he remains confident it will not affect his tennis in the future. The remaining 156 Tour de France riders were authorized to keep racing on Tuesday after the latest coronavirus tests. All 785 tests on Sunday and Monday of riders and staff members of the 22 teams returned negative. On Tuesday, Preeti Zinta announced that she tested negative for coronavirus. Sharing a video on Instagram, the actor wrote, "Third COVID test was done and the result was negative." After Vicky Kaushal's music video Pachtaoge, his brother Sunny Kaushal will be seen in a music video along with Neha Kakkar. He said, "This is the first thing I shot for after the lockdown and it was so much fun to be back on set. I couldn't have asked for a better music video debut," unquote. The song will be out on the 18th September. Actor Taapsee Pannu on Tuesday threw some powerful questions to her compatriots as she recited a new poem called Samvad to mark the International Democracy Day. She shared a short video illustration based on the importance of freedom of speech on Instagram. As Riddhima Kapoor Sahni turned a year older today, brother Ranbir Kapoor, mother Neetu Kapoor, Alia Bhatt and other family members decided to mark her 40th birthday special. In the video, we can see members of the family grooving to the tunes of Aap Jaisa Koi Meri Zindagi Mein Aaye song. One of the leading interior designers and film producers, Gauri Khan, is all set to add a new feather to her cap. He's set to turn into an author and announce a debut book recently. Titled My Life in Design, it will be a coffee table book which will showcase her journey as a designer. Anil Kapoor's workout video gets a big thumbs up from Olympic winner Johan Blake. The actor's video is created as rage on social media. Johan Blake dropped a comment on the actor's post saying, "Looking good, my friend," to which Anil Kapoor replied, "Thank you so much, mate. Coming from you means a lot." Mitro, starring Jackie Bhagnani in the lead role, made its way into our hearts as the film marks its second anniversary. Jackie Bhagnani shared a clip from the dance rehearsals from the popular song Kamariya. K-pop groups BTS and Blackpink take over the Billboard global chart by attaining most positions in top 10. The two K-pop groups are on a record-breaking spree since recently. American singer Alicia Keys has announced that she will be releasing her much-anticipated new album Alicia on Friday. The album includes the previously released singles Underdog, Show Me Love, So Done, Love Looks Better, Perfect Way to Die, Time Machine and Good Job. And the Duke of Sussex celebrates his 36th birthday following an eventful year that has transformed his life. Harry is now living in California with his wife Meghan and son Archie after they made Sunshine stay their home just before the coronavirus lockdown began in March. And that's a wrap. Thanks for watching.